Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to hop on here and show you something that I got from the Dollar General yesterday. Something that I thought was kind of useful. It's called a Prep&Go Original Mason salad jar. It's for the purposes of like putting salads, desserts, dips, and much more into the jar. You sort of layer it in the jar like this, it shows, and then you can make it your lunch and take your lunch to work or wherever you're going. This is what it looks like. It is bigger than the typical wide mouth jar that is for canning, and it's got, let's see, the lid, and then it has a little container inside for your dip if you wanted to do any kind of dip for a salad or yogurt or something like that. Put granola in, and then it has a little lid for that, and then it has a seal here, so when you put the seal back, you can put your food down in here in the large part, and then put that on there, and it'll be sealed tightly, and screw it back on. So I've already washed this. I'm going to go ahead and show you on the box some ideas, and those are just the parts to it that I just showed you right there. This cost me $7. So I got this at the Dollar General. It was $7, and I thought that was a pretty good price for something that I can take to work, you know, several times a week when I go. And these were some other ideas that they showed. They just showed some vegetables like carrots and celery, peppers, things that you could put in, and then you could put the dip in the bowl. And then here was some fruit and yogurt, and then up here I think they put granola in the cup. So I'm planning today on doing the salad, and I've already washed it out. What I'm going to do is just show you what I have here in the way of my salad. I already have some things on my plate that I've cut up to put in. I've got some boiled eggs, olives, some ham, and some grated Parmesan cheese. I usually like rotisserie chicken in my salad instead of the ham, but today that's all I had, so I'm going to have ham. And then I've got some vegetables to put in it as my salad part. Let me see if I can get that in the camera. All right, so move that down a little bit. All right, I don't know how well you can see it. I want to get it over there where you can see it. All right, so I have here some kale and some spinach underneath there, and some broccoli. I don't have any lettuce at home right now, so I'm just using these three greens. And over here I have some garlic and some chopped red onions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my chopper. I really like this chopper. I don't know if anybody out there has tried this or not, but it's kind of it can make the salad really small and to fit into a small space like this jar, instead of having a big bowl. And I just really like that better. So I'm going to go ahead and start chopping it, and I'll show you how that works. It works a little bit better with lettuce, and if you do this, watch your fingers, because I'm always afraid I'm going to get my fingers caught in it, and that would not be very fun at all. It would be very painful. So sometimes you just put one hand on top of the other to keep your hand away from the blade. Most of you are probably a lot more skilled at doing kitchen things than me, so you won't have to worry about it, but I do. And then a lot of times it'll get stuck in there, and I'm going to go ahead and get a knife and get it. All right, so just, kind of get that out of there with the knife. Just watch your hands, that your fingers don't slide and you get sliced with the blade, which has happened to me before. Got a piece of kale stuck in there. All right, you're going to come out whether you like it or not. Okay, so we'll go ahead and continue this. Some of you probably have an electric chopper of some sort. I don't have one of those. I just try not to get very many appliances that I don't use a lot. You know, I don't think that I think that if I bought one of those, I wouldn't really use it very much. So I don't want to spend money. I'm trying to be frugal, and I don't really have the money to spend on things like that. So I just try to do it by hand as much as possible. Even if I'm beating eggs, trying to, you know, beat the egg whites to a stiff state. Last time I did that, I just did it by hand, and it turned out fine. Just takes a little more time. I think sometimes when we're cooking, doing things, we want to be in a hurry. So we want to get, you know, all of the latest appliances and do it that way. But at the same time, there's something to be said for just taking the time to do it by hand. A lot of times when we do it by hand, we have time to think, you know, now I'm not really doing that right now, obviously, because I'm doing a video to show you all how I'm going to use this jar. But on a normal basis, I would be in my kitchen chopping all of the same things I'm chopping right now. I'd probably have lettuce in it. And I'd be doing it this way with this little chopper, handheld chopper. And, you know, I would have time to think. I could sing, think about scripture, pray. And that's normally what I would be doing. And I think that a lot of times when we have, you know, all of the modern choppers and noisy, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having them. I'm just saying I prefer not to, because I like to keep my life as simplified as possible. And I find that when I just do things by hand, sometimes the old-fashioned way, it gives me more time to reflect and relax. And it is really good for our bodies too, you know, to be working with our hands and putting in some muscle. So whether you choose to do it the other way or not, that's up to you. This is just what I prefer. And like I said, normally I would be spending some reflection time right now instead of having the noise of a loud machine in my ear. All right, so this looks pretty good. Got it pretty well chopped. I'm just going to go ahead and check what's stuck in the blade here. This is probably the biggest pain in the neck right here, is getting this out. And you do have to be very careful that your hand doesn't slip, as I said before. I do have a few big chunks of broccoli in there. I don't like those, so I'm just going to take them out because I don't really want them in my salad. I don't like it to be too crunchy. All right, so as you can see there, it made a lot of salad small. And so now we can easily put it in our jar and just maybe have room in our jar. I'm not really sure how much room we're going to have in this jar. I mean, obviously, it looks like that's not all going to fit along with everything else that I have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it all in a bowl, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to toss it first so that I don't have to stir it up when I'm at work on my lunch break. Okay, so I've got a bowl here with a lid. My lid's cracked, but we're not going to worry about that. It'll still work. So let's just put everything in there, along with my onions and my garlic. I only used one garlic clove. It was a very small garlic clove, and I feel like the garlic I have has been on my kitchen table for a while, so it's about ready, you know, to be replaced. But we'll be going to the grocery here next week, so I won't have to worry about that. I'll get more. And then just put my other ingredients in there. I'm not specific about how I want anything, you know, any certain arrangement. It doesn't matter what order I put it in, because it's all going to be tossed together in a minute anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my lid on, and I'm going to give it a shake. That might be good. It looks like everything's pretty well mixed up in there. I just like mine mixed up. I don't really like to eat layered salad because I feel like just, I don't know. I just only taste the eggs in one bite and then only taste the cheese in the other bite. Kind of like that with tacos as well. I like it all to be mixed together. Some people don't. Some people don't like it mixed together at all. All right. So it looks pretty good. It's pretty well tossed. And now I'm going to go ahead and put it in my jar. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way here. All right. So there is the jar. And I think I'll get some kind of scoop or something to put it in with. All right. So I just grabbed a slot spoon. I'm going to go ahead and start putting this in here. Sometimes I'll take things out if I don't like them. Well, that's cheese. I thought that was going to be a piece of broccoli, but it's not. I'm not a big fan of broccoli. I don't really like it. If it's steamed and, you know, a lot of times I'll put Parmesan cheese on it. I really like it that way. If it's steamed and it's really soft. That's why I chopped it up so much, because I figured if I chopped it up, maybe I won't be able to taste it as much. But I know it's good for me, so I try to eat it sometimes. When my children were growing up, we homeschooled, and before, they can tell you, they can testify to this, they would every morning, practically every morning for breakfast, I would make broccoli in the microwave. I don't usually use the microwave that much anymore, but I would make broccoli in the microwave and I would put Parmesan cheese on it because I wanted to get my vegetable first thing in the morning. It wasn't something I liked or I wanted, but it's something I knew I should have. So there we go. It's pretty full. It's not even really that full considering how much I started with. And I've got my little bowl. I was going to test to see how far that went down. So see, that doesn't even, I still have room. So you could put more. You could put more lettuce in there. You could put more vegetables in there, whatever you prefer. As you notice, I don't have tomatoes in here. I don't really like tomatoes in salad, and I didn't put any cucumbers or peppers. I'm not really big on any of that stuff. Now, I will eat it, but I really have to be in the right mood to eat that kind of stuff. I just don't like it. But if you like it, then you could put anything in there that you like. This is just what I like. So I went ahead and got, this is the kind of blue cheese. I like blue cheese dressing. Of course, you can use any kind you want. And I buy this kind just because it only has 1 gram of added sugar. Actually, I think there's one kind that doesn't have any sugar. I must have bought the wrong kind, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and put some of this in. Oh, one thing I did forget. I'll go ahead and do that now before I do the dressing. Let me grab my salt and seasoning. Okay, so I went ahead and got some olive oil, or this isn't olive oil, this is avocado oil, and I like salt in mine. Like I told you before on another video, I use the real salt. It's called real salt. And I also like Italian seasoning in my salad. So what I'm going to do is just, let me decide how I want to do this. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and just put some salt in my cup, in this little cup that I'm going to put the dressing in. And I don't know how much to put in. I just kind of sprinkle some, and hopefully it's not too much later. And then I'll just put my Italian seasoning in. I don't care how much I have of that. I like a lot of that. And I will go ahead and put some avocado oil in. Usually I do better at deciding how much to put if I'm putting it directly on the salad than in a cup. I'm not sure why. Some people are really, really good at, you know, putting the right amount on when they cook. I'm not. I'm kind of a measurer, and I don't know why. I've always been one that has to measure things, but I'm getting better at it. So, you know, 1 serving of this is, I think it says 2 tablespoons. Yeah, so I'm just going to guess. That's probably enough for the salad. It might be a little too much, but it's better to have too much than not enough when you get to work, because you don't want to, you know, pay money at the cafeteria or vending machines to get something or go out to eat. So I'll just mix this together. And when I get to work, I get about a half an hour lunch break, so I will get a spoon. I'll even take a spoon with me. Well, I usually take, I'll take a fork of mine if I remember, or a spoon, and I'll just probably mix this together again because I think it'll probably separate by lunchtime. This is the first time I've ever used this jar. I mean, I just bought this yesterday, so normally I will take a lunch box or buy something there, which I don't like doing because I spend too much money. So you just set that in there. I hope you can see that on the video. Move that up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so just set that in there, and you can see that it's, you know, I think I have enough for that salad. And I put my lid on there. Okay, so I have my lunch there. All right, and I went ahead and got my little lunch pail. As I said, I don't take this every day. A lot of times I'll buy something there to eat, or take just a little baggies of something. And I'm not there every day, so it's not a big deal to really pack my lunch on the days that I am there. And this is big enough. I actually got this at Walmart. It has, I don't know how much it was. I bought it a long time ago, but it has a zipper here if you need to expand the lunchbox and make it bigger, but I don't think I really do. So it's perfect for my new salad jar. It's going to make it heavy, but if I make sure the lid's screwed on tight, I can just stick that right in there and it fits perfectly. And I'll go ahead and put a napkin in there, put my fork, which I do like to take a fork because all they have there is plastic forks, and I don't always like plastic forks, and I usually take a spoon in case I decide to buy soup or something. And then one thing I like to take when I do pack my lunch is I like to take dates. So these are whole dates that I bought at a Kroger grocery store. It's just a regular grocery store if you don't have one in your area, but these are the Simple Truth brand, so they're cheaper than the national brand. And I usually just take 2 of these. Some people don't like dates, but I do really like them. So I'll just put them in a little you know, sandwich baggie and stick them in my lunch. That way I have some dessert and I won't find myself grabbing candy bars and stuff that is not as good for me. So get that. And what else? So this up here is where the ice pack goes, which I won't put the ice pack in yet because I have a few hours before I actually have to leave and I don't want the ice pack to melt. But in the meantime, I'll just go ahead and stick this in the refrigerator and it'll stay cold, and all I have to do is grab it before I leave for work. And if I forget to grab it, then I'm going to be starving or paying money for food. All right, well, I hope you all enjoyed that. And if you get a chance and you're interested in this, I did get this at the Dollar General, and it was $7 in my area. All right, well, I hope you have a great day and enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.